Did you know there are non-Christian, secular historical sources that talk about Jesus' life, his execution, and even the claims of his resurrection? Let's break down the real ancient evidence that historians all over the world acknowledge. First, let us get this out of the way. No serious historian today denies that Jesus of Nazareth lived. Why? Because ancient non-Christian writers actually document him. Tacitus, a respected Roman historian writing around the year 115, mentions a man named Christus, who suffered the extreme penalty under Pontius Pilate during the reign of Emperor Tiberius. This is from his work, the Annals, and it's a Roman source that was hostile to Christians. Then there's Josephus, a prominent Jewish historian writing in the 1st century. He records Jesus as a real man, a wise teacher, and a miracle worker, and he confirms that Pilate had him crucified. Even the most skeptical scholars accept the core of this account. Finally, Pliny the Younger, a Roman governor around the year 112, wrote to the emperor about Christians who worship Jesus as a god and were willing to die before they would deny him. None of these sources were Christian. None had any reason to promote Christianity. Yet they all confirmed that Jesus lived and was executed. Now, let's talk about his death. Crucifixion wasn't just a biblical detail, it was a historical event recorded outside the Bible. As we saw, Tacitus confirms it, Josephus confirms it, and it aligns perfectly with what we know about Roman execution methods for non-citizens. Plus, think about this. Christianity exploded in Jerusalem, the very city where Jesus was publicly executed. This shows his death was a well-known, undisputed fact at the time. Nobody was arguing about whether he died. Even prominent atheist scholars like Bart Ehrman agree, stating that Jesus' crucifixion is one of the most certain facts of ancient history. This is where it gets really interesting. Secular historians also record something else, not the resurrection itself, but the explosive claims about it from people who genuinely believed it happened. Pliny the Younger writes that early Christians gathered every week before sunrise, singing hymns to Christ as to a god. Why would thousands of people suddenly start worshiping a crucified man as God? Because they believed he rose from the dead. Josephus mentions that Jesus' followers did not abandon him after his death, which suggests something truly dramatic occurred to keep them loyal. But perhaps the biggest piece of secular evidence is the rise of Christianity itself. Historically, you simply do not get a worldwide movement built around a disgraced, crucified leader unless the followers were absolutely convinced he was alive again. They had no money, no power, and no armies. Yet within a few decades, Christianity spread across the Roman Empire like wildfire. Why?